Hi, I'm Meagan Jones. I'm the Environmental Specialist with Housing and Food Service. For those of you that aren't familiar with our operation, we operate the 14 residence halls on campus as well as the food service within those residence halls. So we have 2 all-you-care-to-eat facilities, J2 and Kinsolving, as well as 3 retail cafes, Jester City Limits, Littlefield Patio Cafe, and Cypress Bend Cafe, as well as 2 convenience stores. We have a strong commitment to sustainability and have been growing our program rapidly over the last 4 years. In 2008, we decided that we would like to add composting into all of our food service operations, and so we began our program about 3 years ago. So we needed to start by assessing how much food waste was actually occurring in these dining facilities. So in spring of 2008, we went into the dish room at Kinsolving Dining Hall, and for a week we scraped food into buckets and weighed it. From that, we were able to assess that we had about 112 tons of food waste every single year just from the 2 all-you-care-to-eat dining facilities. So we obviously wanted to reduce that as the first step in this program. So we ended up removing the trays from the all-you-care-to-eat dining facilities, and we reduced portion sizes of some of the things we were serving. We did a lot of education with the students, and we have since been able to reduce that by 50%. So that's an accomplishment, but we do still have at least 58 tons of food waste coming just from those 2 dining facilities alone. So with that food waste, we obviously wanted to divert as much as possible from the landfill. So we began by looking at different composting programs at other universities. We really came up with kind of 4 possible options for us. In-vessel composting, which there's a picture up there on the right, that's actually an in-vessel unit. Food waste goes in one end. After a period of time, it actually comes out the other end. For this process, you do have to have some land available because there is a curing process where you have to actually rest the compost for a period of weeks to months. The second option that we looked into was actually working with some of the local farmers. We have some farmers that drop off produce to our dining facilities, and we thought it would be a great idea if we could give some of our food waste to these farmers. They could go back to their farm, compost it, and then again bring us the produce that was from this product. So that was a great idea, and it would kind of complete the cycle. But there was the problem of cross-contamination. Obviously, these farmers have fresh produce in their trucks, and we'd be giving them food waste. And so at this point in time, we didn't think that that was a feasible option for us. We also looked into doing windrow composting at the Pickle Research Campus. There is some open space out there. But with the kind of regulations around operating your own composting facility, the equipment that we would need, and the manpower to actually operate a compost facility, that was not something that we were going to pursue. And so really the fourth option was the most viable option for us, and that was commercial composting. So we are lucky that we are in a region that has a couple of different composting options. So this actually is a process where we have compactors located on the campus. Texas Disposal System is ultimately the company that we ended up working with. And so whenever these compactors are full, Texas Disposal Systems comes, picks this up, takes it out to their facility, and they compost it in a windrow commercial composting fashion. So as we were doing this research, we were also working to change all of our disposable food service items into compostable options. So we, at this point, are over 95% compostable serviceware in our a la carte retail dining options where the food is served on to-go materials. So many of these items are made from corn, sugarcane, uncoated paper. We did have some potato starch items in the past. But we obviously changed into these items not only to be able to divert more from the landfill, but also to help facilitate the sorting process, because we wanted to not only provide pre-consumer composting in our dining facilities' kitchens, but also post-consumer composting in all of our retail areas. So we obviously did a lot of training with our staff. Every semester we go into every kitchen and we do training. what is compostable, what is recycling in our kitchen, and what is going to have to go into the trash. So if you guys have noticed the red bins that are in the back of the room here, they're red bins with a green compostable liner in them. Those are the same exact bins that we use in our kitchens every day. And so that has been a training process with our staff and has been really successful. Also for the students, it's easy in the two kind of all-you-care-to-eat dining facilities. Basically, if they have food left over on their plates, they return it to us and we handle that in the back of the house. But for the areas where the students have to help us sort, we actually worked with a company, designed some custom bins. This is a picture of the top of that bin. So we developed restrictive openings. So for instance, the trash opening is a little smaller than our plate and many of our compostable containers. So you can cram things in there, but we hope that people notice that hole is just a little too small, maybe look at that sign and realize that what they're trying to put in the trash should go into the compost. And we've had great success with this as well. I have to be honest, we were a little nervous about providing post-consumer composting, but we really have had very low contamination rates and have had no complaints from our composting facility. So this is actually a picture out at Texas Disposal System. We went out there and we were developing some educational materials for our students. So they obviously put it in these large windrows over the last year of the program, so we actually implemented this commercial composting program in October of 2010, so we were just coming up on 1 year. We have composted 140 tons of materials, which is quite a large percentage of our waste stream. We don't know the exact percentage because of the ways that we have to share some compactors with some other facilities, but we do know that it is quite a large impact on our total waste stream. So I also want to mention that recently we were recognized by Keep Austin Beautiful. We were the runner-up for their Recycling and Waste Diversion Awards for this year for our composting program, so we're really excited about that. And we hope that in the future we will be able to expand this into more areas aside from just dining. We have a plan to pilot this program in some of our administrative offices. So we have some break rooms and kitchens, and we'll be putting it into those locations this year, and with the possibility of reaching out to the residential areas in the future. So, thank you.